Yeah. Yes. Let's go.
Going back with the Blazers. Going for about what, 3 in a row with the Blazers now. Let's go for 4 in a row with the Blazers against the Clippers. Should I play against them? Should I not play against them? I'm gonna play him. As much as I don't want to play him, I'm gonna play him. Oh, he's about even with a 3 in the drive, so can't be too mad. We know who got to watch out for, which is coming off the bench, Jamal Crawford. We gotta watch out for Jamal Crawford as always. He pretty much is, well, not saying unstoppable. He doesn't miss. Doesn't miss off.
The Trailblazers play before the hometown crowd here in downtown Portland, Oregon. Last outing for the Clippers, they won that game against the Pistons.
Yeah, they did everything well in that game. Solid across
the
board,
That's
particularly at the offensive end.
Yeah, the definition of teamwork, Steve. Communication, passing, catching cleanly. And they work extremely well together all game long.
State Farm brings you tonight's starting players. Here are the 5 for the Clippers. In the front court, it's Caron Butler, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. Chris Paul is out there at Bledsoe. And for the Trailblazers, Batum and Aldridge are small and power forwards. Lillard and Matthews pair up in the backcourt. And it's Hickson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here is Aldridge. Hangs in
Aldridge, Aldridge, baby. It's a beast.
Double clutch layup.
And LaMarcus Aldridge is such a versatile scorer offensively. He's increased his range the last few years.
I might have to go 2-3 against the Clippers. I might have to go 2-3 against them. They spread you out a little bit.
So high on that jump shot, but he's also got those post moves down on the block. And the Blazers really like to put the ball in his hands and run their offense.
Good defense. Good defense.
No good from Bledsoe. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Well, guys, the head coach for the Portland Trailblazers gave me just a couple of minutes. The fans might be happy with the approach he laid out for me. He said, I don't necessarily want to turn this into an all-star game, but we can and we should get to the rim for our share of dunks and layups today. We could have an entertaining contest on our hands if that's the case, guys.
And thanks for that story, Doris. And back to Aldridge, such an asset for a team to have such a go-to big man offensively.
It really is, Kevin, because a lot of
I'm glad they're finishing at the rim, though. I'm glad they're finishing. Not necessarily dunking, but at least they're getting layups to go in.
It really is. It allows you to play smash mouth.
Can't afford too many missed shots.
Here is Paul, following the basket by Nicholas Batum. Paul passes to Jordan.
Oh, good call, Ref.
There's the call on
Good call.
Jordan. That'll be his second.
Surprised to get that call. Very
Terrific
surprised.
defensive play to cut him off and square up.
And he took a shot.
You regular charging call when you ain't actually
I love that kind
sitting
of
there to take a charge.
Looking at Portland, they took a win in their last game against New Orleans.
And they won that game, guys, in large part because of the defense played by their bigs. They turned away more than their share of shots.
And I thought it got into the other guys' heads as the game went on. I mean, they weren't taking it to the basket nearly as aggressively.
Well, with the Blazers for many years, Portland didn't even worry about the luxury tax. But because of the new CBA, there's a much stricter rule on the luxury tax, and it looks to me like the Blazers will have to make some adjustments.
I'm always impressed by big men who shoot free throws as well as he does. For some reason, they're rare.
What I do about that?
And Griffin slams it in.
Got him there. He was up there.
Can't stop him.
Get the ball above his head.
Fires for 3. Offensive rebound. Here's Aldridge.
Aldridge is balling.
2 points on the layup. Aldridge has got 7 points in the game.
Get back.
If you don't box him out more
Aldridge is
effectively than
balling.
that, he's going to eat you up on the offensive board.
Bledsoe with averaging 9 points per contest. Paul kicks to Butler. Just 5 to shoot. Bledsoe passes it to Paul. Shoots over Matthews. Paul's shot is off. Yeah, the CBA, as you brought up, Steve, trying to limit the spending of teams that have big money. It might take a while for them, Clark, to get used to these new rules and abide by them.
Yeah, well, on more than one occasion, Kevin, they were able to just buy up picks and take on contracts in an effort to try to quickly improve.
Let's go, Aldridge.
I think those days
He's
are over.
killing from me right now.
Well, that certainly sent a ripple through the crowd.
Well, alley-oop always does that. One of the most
Let's go, baby.
beautiful plays you'll see in all of basketball. It's impossible not to be impressed.
Yep, very exciting play to see that.
Especially when it ends with that big slam like that one.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Leonard's checked in.
This is a bad pass.
Paul with the ball. Lillard picks him up. And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Not stop. There's no way to stop that. I mean, there's nothing you can do when he's coming at him like that.
Well, that's right, Clark. Steve, he is a dangerous, dangerous player.
Yeah, especially when he gets to that launching pad right there in the lane. I mean, pretty one-handed finish. That was nice.
A second chance effort. Outside for Batum. Here's the three. That is good.
There we go.
Batum's got 5 now.
Boy, that's too easy. You cannot let a shooter that good get a warm-up jump shot like that. If you do that, it'll be raining all day from out there.
And it's Butler missing. And Portland with the ball.
Oh, get it!
Yes, sir. Get the Clippers out of here, baby.
Don't do that to him. That was fantastic. Wow.
And Clark, the degree of difficulty.
Major.
That was amazing.
No good from Bledsoe. Trailblazers leading by 9. Lillard dishes to Matthews. And again,
Yes,
it's the
sir.
Trailblazers from
Let's
deep.
go.
Well, they've yet to string
Yes,
many
sir.
shots together.
It just seems like they've been a step slow here.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Damian Lillard. That is his first foul of the game. A different look now for Portland. Luke Babbitt, he's checked in for Aldridge. And Nolan Smith subbed in for Lillard. The Clippers also changing it up. Lamar Odom is checked in for DeAndre Jordan. And it's Crawford in for Eric Bledsoe.
Go, baby.
And that one's good.
Blowout status. Let's go.
First bucket of the night.
Got there.
Right
There
now,
we
it's
go.
all working for him here in the first. The shots have
That's
been
good
falling.
defense.
Yeah, their
That's good
offense has been
defense.
very
That is
impressive.
good
If they
D.
keep this up, Clark, they're going to be tough to beat.
The Clippers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
You know, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball in so many of their games because they just have not been able to knock down those foul shots. He's taking care of business at the line, and you expect nothing less from him. Of course, a terrific shooter from the stripe.
And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. Now here's Griffin. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Pistons in Detroit. And again, no good by the Clippers. Up in time. Got it off in time, but it's no good. Domination in the first quarter. It's been...
Sir. Kicking booty. 21-9.
Welcome back. It's
Kicking
been all
butt.
one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And Steve,
We're the other side of the floor. We're the other
Trailblazers
side of
pretty
the
much in
floor.
control here.
And they're really keying in on getting as many good shots inside the lane as possible. They're doing a nice job of not just settling for outside looks.
Yep, I agree. I mean, they're working it inside and doing it with intention and purpose.
So for the Clippers right now, Crawford and Butler out on the perimeter. Odom out there with Griffin. And it's Paul in at the 5. And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here at Doris Burke. Doris?
Give me that back.
Well, guys, DeAndre Jordan, one of the premier shot blockers in the game. He's trying to learn all the tricks of the trade, waiting to jump until after the ball is released. Also, he said, I'm working on blocking to keep the ball in bounds or blocking to a teammate, like Bill Russell did. Guys, there's no question, despite his success, Jordan still has a lot of untapped potential.
Unlimited potential, Doris. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's still rounding out his game. He has all the physical tools you could want, but it's just a matter of continuing to put in the work.
You almost could see it happening, the Clippers being a playoff-bound team last year with the talent they brought in. They actually made a splash.
I get what I want. He misses the jump
Now
shot.
here's Paul. After the miss from Damian Lillard. And it's Paul penetrating. Butler, he's covered by Matthews. There's Crawford with the 3.
Ooh, he missed it. Got the ball.
It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge. Tough first-round matchup with the Grizzlies, and they had some injury scares in that one as well, Steve.
Yeah, I know to run them breaks right.
That series out in dramatic
You got to throw alleys all the time. Just get in the right positions.
Getting swept in round 2 by the Spurs, but all in all,
Ooh, boy, he's missing him shot. Thank you.
Now Matthews. three from Jamal Crawford. And Matthews kicks to Aldridge. Using his post moves to get the 2 points.
Let's go, baby.
And it's a 12-point Trailblazer lead.
Kevin, he's one of the best finishers we've got in this league. I mean, he rarely misses an opportunity to score inside when he has position.
And let me take this time to also mention his scoring ability.
That was a block.
I mean, this technique on the low block is picture perfect. The footwork is exquisite. Everything else about it is impeccable, too. Simply said, a tremendous rebound and a tremendous dunk. T-square.
He was a man possessed right there, Clark.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy that you always get from him night after night.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. It's game number 2 of the season.
I really want to see y'all one thing, though. If you do subscribe, send me messages. I do check my messages. I do try to respond, as y'all can see. I'm not sure if y'all can see it, though, but I do get the emails and check them. And I respond via email, either on the work or at home. I do try to respond. It ain't too hard to respond. I don't feel like I have a ton of subscribers, but I'm almost at 100.
Low post scoring threats.
I'm pretty excited about that. Almost being at 100.
You know, he's such a polished offensive player in the low post. Even when the defense collapses on him and he's got guys all around him, he finds a way to put the ball in the basket.
You said a mouthful right there, Steve. Even with multiple defenders on him, he can make tough shots.
Stop playing around, guys. Get this guy out of here.
He operates as well in traffic as you can expect from a big
three.
And that rebound pushes their margin to
See, you
+5
got to as all time. Run the break, get the team in the right position. 2 points every time.
Shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, rebounding is a huge part of this game.
Yeah, I'm out here. I got you.
Nicolas Batum, out of France, a much coveted young player.
My fault.
Cornerstone for this Blazer team for the future. It brings together all the things you want to see at that small forward spot. Length, defense, shooting ability with range, and of course, finishing around the rim.
Here's Butler.
I might have got this 1-3-1. He's going to the corners
That's all
now.
the space he needs, guys.
Instead of going to the corner, go to the 2-3.
You give him that shot.
Trailblazers leading by 9. Aldridge with a screen on Paul. Aldridge guarded by Odom. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
Aldridge is the beast. I tell y'all, Portland Trailblazers. Give him a try.
We know he can already score, Clark, in the NBA.
Playing with Portland Trailblazers since I think 2K6.
Well, you always look at length because that's an asset coaches
Especially when they had Brandon Roy.
like to have. So
That was my
tremendous
squad.
defensive potential there. He could develop into a scary two-way player.
Brandon Roy, Rudy Fernandez, all them. That was my squad.
On the sideline.
Gentlemen, the acquisition of Chris Paul by the Clippers, greeted famously by Blake Griffin, who joyfully said to teammate DeAndre Jordan, Lob City, after hearing the news. That name took on a life of its own, becoming Lob Angeles in time. But the team started to back away from it, making clear that highlights weren't the emphasis. It was winning.
Wow.
But maybe the more meaningful reaction from Griffin was this. The only thing I'm going to promise is that when you hear the Clippers, it's not going to be a joke anymore. I can guarantee you that. Kevin, love it.
You see that? Did y'all just see that boy just dunk that ball like that?
Let's see where they go next.
What a talented leaper. Loves to climb up and throw it down. Man.
Oh, Clark, he gets up so quickly.
Yeah, he's like a pogo stick.
Oh, my gosh. Not a lot of point guards in the league can jam like he can.
That's for sure.
And he's able to finish, guys, amongst all the big fellas in the paint. Just amazing athleticism.
Here's Lillard. Drops it in from 14 feet away.
Is he about to try to take over the game? Is he about to try to take over the game? Is he about to try to take over?
Like a layup for him when the
If he try to go 1-1 with Chris Paul.
And it's Paul penetrating. Butler.
That was my fault.
And
Dang,
another
give me 3,
for the
man.
Clippers.
That's 9 straight points coming off 3 3-pointers. The defense just getting shelled.
Steve, the threes are killing them. I think they've got to find a way to chase them off the three-point line.
Now, here's Lillard. He's coming off a 16-point game against New Orleans.
So far, he hasn't made much of a contribution at the offensive end.
Here's Odom. Here's Crawford. Cloak loose. The kick out to Odom. It'll count, and that's not going to go. And so that's the end of the first half.
First half, we're up 34-24, up 10.
And we'll be back right at
Marcus always being a beast, like he always is.
to get underway.
I'm going to pick and roll. I'm going to pick and roll. First thing out, pick and roll. Slow it down.
4 assists as well. That kind of mix of assists and rebounds is what wins you basketball games.
But you've got to love having a guy who can do both those things well.
Matthews and Batum on the perimeter. Hickson is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Lillard in at the point. That's the group on the floor for Portland.
Kevin, I tell you what, when he gets to the rim like that, he's really hard to stop.
Yeah, he can get up a few notches higher. There's no doubt.
Yeah, that's how the game is played, inside. I mean, if you can go over the top like that, you've got a great advantage. You know,
I wasn't trying to do that, buddy. What are you doing?
The last few years, it's very sad. This was a club that was poised to be one of the dominant teams in the West, and then the injuries just...
Oh, thank you for showing me how we're done.
There's one thing about the alley-oop. You can't fire the pass in there. You got to have some air under that pass. It needs a little hang time.
That's exactly right. A lot of finesse, just like that one was. Perfectly thrown.
And that's what makes the play so much fun to watch. There's finesse on the front end, but then power on the end.
Injuries can creep up on a
I know I get that
team,
every
as
time.
Steve
Just about.
said, Portland had so
People
much
want to take off
promise
and dribble down the court.
just a few years ago, really even at the beginning of last
That's not how you
season.
play basketball.
Look what's happened. No Odin, no Grant.
As a big man, you turn and look for your guards.
And that's tough. Those were cornerstone.
And as a guard, you just can't turn and run. There's always going to be somebody right there.
Terribly
You can't do that. Basketball 101.
You can see why the Blazers basically had to restart.
Offensive rebound. Aldridge left side.
See? Look, he's dribbling as a big man.
Now the Clippers moving it up. Hall. And with that one,
come on
the
now.
lead is trimmed to single digits.
Ooh, got him.
Hall's got his third bucket of the night. Right side Aldridge. Goes straight up.
Can't stop that man down there.
Two-hand slam.
Go, man. Can't stop him down there.
Just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, but he pretty much went brain neutral on that one.
That's all he wants is threes,
I
man.
like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
Yes, he did.
That was embarrassing.
And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession.
Well, Chris Paul now with the Clippers.
Come on now, we ain't trying to make this a game.
Renowned
We ain't trying to let them boys come back in here.
failure.
You know, all they do is shooting threes.
Anything resembling a good basketball team. If
I
there's
don't
one guy
think
who
people
can
do with the
change
Clippers is shoot
culture there,
threes.
it's Chris
Good
Paul.
defense.
Here's what Portland's going with
Got
right
his
now.
run.
Leonard, he's checked in for Hickson. And it's Luke Babbitt in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Now the Clippers moving it up. Bledsoe's got the ball. And Griffin slams it in.
I like the awareness they had there. Guys were headed out on the break the instant the steal was made.
And they got the easy bucket because of it.
And Chris Paul has the type of game where if you really love hoops, you have to be a fan of his.
Yeah, no question. He's not a big guy, but boy, he does everything
In that
on the
post,
court
baby.
you'd like
Let's
to see
go.
a point guard do. He's quick, he's smart defensively,
Tell me there's no
always
game.
amongst the league leaders in steals, if not leading the league in steals, and can take over a game at either end of the floor.
A different look now for Portland. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Batum. Martin comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Nolan Smith subbed in for Lillard. And it's Paul penetrating.
Wow, Aldridge, you want to let him lay up on your face?
Paul's got 4 points this quarter.
All right, though.
Again, they attack the hoop from the lane, and it's been really good to them.
Yeah, they're getting whatever they want down there. That's 4 of their last 5 buckets coming in the paint area.
And that one's good by Aldridge.
Well, you look at Vinny Del Negro, spent some time in the Phoenix Suns front office as a scout before moving on to the coaching ranks when he landed that first job with the
There you go.
Chicago
Way to play
Bulls.
defense out there. Let's go.
That was a whole punch
Yep,
jam
let's
there.
go.
A nice finish.
Yeah, you
Give me
gotta
that.
love the way
Oh.
he tapped off that strong hook.
Babbitt, good.
The offensive efficiency has been really
Killing them Reggie Miller style, baby.
Well, you know, I think it's pretty simplistic, but it does oftentimes come down to this, making shots, and that's what they've done.
Outside Butler. To stop the run. Shot is off. So the Trailblazers will take it the other way. And Steve, to go back to Vinny Del Negro.
Oh, give it to him when he's hot, baby.
He was also in broadcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's been around the game forever.
Yes, sir.
A lifer. His father was a coach. It's in his blood.
Oh,
he actually
yeah.
grew up just outside of Springfield, Massachusetts, the home of the Hall of Fame. So Vinny, I guess, is just meant to be in basketball. They continue to pull down misses, and that's how they're maintaining this lead.
Yeah, well,
In Blake's
what they're doing
face.
is a
Ooh.
recipe for continuing to hold on to a lead. You don't want to let the other team back in it by giving them extra possession.
Here's the screen. Here's Babbitt. No good on the three.
Nobody near him. He'll normally make that one.
Trailblazers leading by 13. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Aldridge drives in. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Pretty bad
push him out
defense,
the lane.
letting
Go,
the
let's go.
offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know what's going to happen, and they send a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
And he sinks the second. Here comes Eric Bledsoe. Kicks it to Paul. Pass to Butler. The feed to Griffin. Back to Butler. Paul with the three. And he beat
Go,
the
man.
buzzer. But
Sir.
it's no good. And as we end the third.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, I thought we had a quitter.
Clippers trailed by
Oh, we had
14.
no quitter.
Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. Setting the floor for the Clippers.
Get him out of there.
Ron Butler, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan, their front line. Bledsoe is out there with Chris Paul. Beyond the arc. Batum grabs the
Another
miss.
ball, man.
Batum's got his third rebound tonight.
Another board for them. And
Tearing that roof down with that one.
Yeah, and really a dunk contest dunk that time. Wow.
yeah, unreal. What a dunk.
Back to Paul. Corner shot. Paul can't get that one to
You
fall.
gonna shoot as you've been
That's the
contested?
shot he was looking for. I'm surprised he didn't get it to fall.
And Matthews gets it to go in on the assist
Yes,
by
sir.
Batum. And the
18.
Trailblazers lead by 18. Los Angeles calls timeout.
You know, one of the things the Clippers did really well last year, guys, was they competed against the Western Conference at a pretty high level. And that's not easy. I mean, the West is definitely the stronger of the two conferences. So for the Clippers to fare well
Come
against
on,
that group
guy.
of teams was pretty
I
impressive.
ain't just can you make getting blown out by 20. You ain't coming back to win this game. Not on me. I ain't blowing a 20-point lead for you to come back and beat me. I've blown them before, but I still win the game. But not before you beat me. That ain't happening.
Marcus
Thank
Aldridge
you.
is checked in for Leonard. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for the Clippers. Clippers trailed by 18. Going back to the Clippers, as Steve was just talking about them, especially for a young team to come out and play as well as they did against the West. A conference that has
Good
so
D.
many seasoned
Good
veterans, like Dirk Nowitzki and Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant. They seem to be sprinkled all over the West.
Well, they were 29-19 against the Western Conference, and you know that was a big reason they were able to get that 5th overall seed in the playoff.
And Batum
Order for
kicks
three.
to Aldridge. They get it back. The dish to Matthews. Matthews left side. Lillard defended by Paul. Second chance shot. And Damian Lillard with the bucket on the assist by Matthews. Clippers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Paul kicks to Butler. And Aldridge comes over to help. Matthews with the steal. Lillard with it. Caron Butler covering. Lillard. He's guarded closely. Over Paul. Lillard misses. Clippers trail by 18. Crawford passes to Paul. Matthews with the steal. Back to Batum. There's the triple. He dishes it to Dixon. Into LaMarcus Aldridge. That's good.
Yep.
Aldridge has got 21 in the game.
Boy, they keep going inside offensively, and guys, they've been very aggressive here.
Got huge advantage in points in the
That should
paint.
have been all
I think
game
the
long.
defense has to make an adjustment to protect the middle.
Now a timeout.
First person I played with didn't really use
One thing you can say
Jamal
about
Crawford.
Portland fans, they love their Blazers. This has traditionally been one of the toughest places to play in the NBA because of that rabid fan base.
Lillard dishes to Aldridge. The shot from the low post is good.
I bet you were like, hey, what the heck am I gonna do? I can't stop him.
This is a very steady performance offensively for him.
And you can hear it as soon as you step into the Rose Garden here. Clark, you and I, when we got here today, you know,
Oh, come
fans, this
on.
base, they love their Blazers.
Some of the best fans in all of basketball, and the Blazers will put on the show for the fans here. I mean, especially last year, they were much better at scoring points at home than they were on the road. There was a 10-point differential between home scoring and road scoring for this team.
That is something. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
See if I can get
Crawford is everything you want out of a
pick and roll
scoring
split.
guard.
Let's see if I can get it.
Spot up and make jump shots, or handle the ball and create shots off the dribble. He loves that little crossover move where he'll just get you going one way,
I didn't mean to throw an alley
take the ball
though.
the other, and rise up and hit that jump shot.
The real struggle with guarding Jamal, Steve, is that once he gets it going, it's really hard to slow him down because of his speed and ability to pull up off the dribble. I mean, he stops on a dime straight up into that lethal jump shot of his.
Nice offensive play there, and this one's pretty much in the books, guys.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? It was a very good showing from them to come away with the win. I was very impressed.
Batum for three. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Griffin's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
I was sitting there waiting on you, baby. This is what I used to do. I used to play ball for real.
Turnover starting to become a factor here.
I know
guys.
the ins and
Got
outs
to
of this
reverse
game.
that trend.
And Lillard kicks to Aldridge. Griffin's there. Low block shot. Aldridge, no luck. Clippers trail by 17. That's a
Think about that.
from Paul.
Wait now.
Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there.
Hasn't had a whole lot of misses here in the quarter. Very sharp shooting right now. It's fun to watch.
The kick out to Matthews. Lillard. Up top, Batum. Dishes at Dixon. The kick out to Matthews. 5 on the clock. Batum for 3. They get the rebound. Matthews. And it's out of bounds. The Trailblazers able to
He
retain
spiked the
possession.
hell out of that ball.
A 3 off the inbound. Snatched up. The kick out to Aldridge. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Lillard, the pass to Matthews. Feeds to Lillard. Over Paul. Matthews dishes to Dixon. Aldridge backing in. And another shot. Aldridge can't get that one to fall. Deflects the pass. Here's Jordan. Can't connect.
Never win with the Blazers,
So
baby.
Portland takes this one.
I tell y'all, play with the Blazers. They're pretty good.
Every team has a bad night, and these guys might want